Van Gogh for our techs out there in the field. When you're prepping, actually, these type of units are high-rise roller units. A little bit different prep than working on one of these units. I'm just going to go through them real quick. Can you come on over and have a look? So first thing we're going to do is open the door. Is the door functioning properly? Well, we see a missing hinge right here, or the pin is out. So in that case, what we're going to do is we're just going to find something that works. Here's a trailer hitch pin, or you could use a nail for framing, whatever works. We're just going to come in and set it down in here and make sure we put it in place. So now we know that that's fixed. Make sure that the rivets are all secured all the way down. Everything's functioning properly on the door, including the door lock, that's not loose. So you can see when you hit it, it's not just falling down. If it was falling automatically when you close it, you want to make sure you tighten this up a little bit just so it has a little bit of tension on it, which this one does, so it's okay. Inside, you want to make sure everything's secure. Toilet paper rack and rod is in there properly. The toilet seat's on properly. And I can see by looking at it right here, you can see a bulge in the wall right there. So that's indicating that potentially a rivet or something's going on the outside. So if you look out here, we can see we have a missing rivet here. So we want to replace that rivet. So it takes two people to do that, one out here, one on the inside holding a washer. Then we see a missing rivet right here. So on the inside, we would look and see where that rivet's missing. One of the most important things about this whole unit is making sure that the brakes and the wheels function properly. They're going out to someone that's going to be on a site, usually up in a high-rise building. What's going to happen if they get in a unit and it starts rolling away while they're up on a high-rise building? If something could happen there. So we want to make sure that the brakes are functioning properly. So we're going to have a look at those wheels. In order to look at the wheels of the units, you can see the door opens this way. So just take the whole entire unit and tip it on its side. And notice we tip it on its side with the door closing when you're tipping it so the door's not hitting you. Then we can come over here and just make sure the wheels are functioning properly. They are there, they're not loose, the bolts are tight. They're not going to fall off, they're not bent or anything like that. And the reason why I'm going over that, because this stuff will happen on these kind of units. They bang them around, they smash into them with forklifts. You want to make sure that you take the time just to look at these, make sure they're on there properly. These are the really important ones, the swivel ones with the lock. So when you swivel this up and down, this down should be pushing on the wheel. In this case, you can see it's working, but it's very loose. So what we're going to want to do here is tighten up these bolts so that way it's not so loose that it's just flopping like that. Because this one's locked, and as soon as it moves, then it just comes undone. And we want to make sure that it's tight. So that's one thing we got to do with this one. We can see it's very dry, so we're going to lubricate it with grease. Okay, this one, the tension is working better. It's not flopping back and forth. The bolts are tight on here. The wheel doesn't appear to be breaking or broken. These bolts are tight. And when we lock it in place, it does hold the wheel. So this is working properly here. We're going to work on this one a little bit, tighten it up. And then what we'll do is we're going to take red spray paint and in the locking position, which would be, if you bring it in a little bit closer here, Brandon. The locking position is when this brake, when you push down here, it's hitting the wheel. So we're going to paint this with red spray paint just on this pad right here. That way when you're outside the unit and you want to brake it, you get to know that if you push on the red, it's going to lock it. Because it can get confusing when you're out there and you don't know which way is which. And other than that, that's it for the prep. If you have any questions, ask one of the techs, ask one of the guys, operations. That's about it. So this wheel here is an example. This is real loose and flopping. Let's see. You got that side? Now that we've tightened those, you can see that it's actually functioning properly now. We just need some extra lubricant on there. So we'll take some, put it in here. Put some in here. The other side here. And you grab your pliers and just kind of work it back and forth for a minute. The whole thing is loosening up again. So what we're going to do is take this off and put some Loctite on here. Here's the Loctite. We're always going to use the blue stuff. If you use red, it'll get permanently locked on there. You don't want to use red, it's too strong. We're just going to put a little bit on the threads here. And we'll tighten it back up. It's too tight, isn't it? Okay, so now we know it's functioning properly, it works good, it's lubricated, this has Loctite on it. This wheel will be good other than our red paint for our lock position. So same thing with this wheel. This one doesn't need it. It is working pretty good. It's not flopping. This one's working good. So we're just going to put some extra lubricant on here. Making sure it's functioning properly. The wheel's spinning. This is bolted on properly. It's not about to break. So we're good to go on that one. We're good to go on this one. And we're going to put some red spray paint on the buttons.